Yo, fans and friends, what is up? This is your host Johan Tang. Welcome to another episode of my journey to my ideal lifestyle. And today I'll be answering a very simple or short yet super powerful question for all you viewers. And it's this: what is the single most important thing I can do in my 20s or early 30s that will impact the remainder of my life? And to begin answering this question, I will first start out by assuming where you are right now in life, which is such that you've already graduated and you probably started a career for yourself, and yet you're really wondering, is this what I really want to do for the rest of my life? Is this really something that has the greatest meaning to me? And is this vehicle I'm in right now, whatever job I'm in, whatever career path I've taken, is this the correct vehicle to get me to where I really want to go in future? So these are really big, important questions, and I think you need to first take some time to think through what is your end goal in life. Really, what is your end goal in life? What is really important to you? So from my own experience for myself, when I was 18, 19, when I first thought about that question, what really is important to me? The answer I got was really natural. It was really simple. I wanted to be a millionaire, right? I wanted to be a millionaire by the time I was 30, if I remember correctly. By the time I was 40, I wanted to be a millionaire by the time I was 40. So that was my goal, I remember this car is so annoying, but anyway, excuse me. I remember that when I was 17, when I just entered junior college, right? We just met, the new form teacher came into our classroom and she said, okay, hi guys, I'm the form teacher. She's a pretty cute, pretty hot teacher, by the way. But anyway, this car, I'm so sorry about this car noise. But yeah, so she came in, she asked us all, can you take out a piece of paper, write down, tell me in one sentence, what is one big aim you have? First describe yourself, next write down one big aim you have in your life. I remember writing down, I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 40 years old. So that was what I written down when I was 17. And fast forward to later on when I was 20, and that goal that I set for myself later set the tone for a lot of things, a lot of decisions that I made after that, right? For example, when I was 19, I joined the army, or in my case, it was a police force, because in Singapore we have to join either the army, police force, or be a firefighter for at least 2 years, right? As part of our duty to our nation. Anyway, my basic training as a policeman. I remember in the first 3 months of the intensive training, I was borrowing books in the library on how to invest. I was borrowing books about business. I was borrowing books about fundamental investment, stock trading, how to read, all the indicators and whatnot. So that was crazy. I was doing a social entrepreneurship project with my brother. That's when we got funded like $8,000, which seemed like a lot of money then. $8,000 for this app that actually basically helps you scout within a certain radius, kilometer radius. You key in your grocery list and then it tells you, in a certain radius, which places are the best to actually get the cheapest foods, the cheapest groceries. So that's something we did. Finally, it was called Kiasu app, and in Singapore, Kiasu basically means a guy that is too scared to lose. It's too scared to lose money, too scared to overspend, right? So that was the idea, and you see, these decisions came from me having that rough goal of being a millionaire by the time I was 40, right? But at a point in time as well, I wasn't clear exactly on how I would make this happen, but I knew that business was one big way for me to go, right? Business was one of the vehicles to get me to that outcome, which is being a millionaire by 40. This also, by luck, thankfully, fate might have it, my older brother is into entrepreneurship as well. That's where he dragged me along. And as well as when I was younger, when I was like in primary school, so when I was back when I was 7, 8, 9 years old, like my mom gave me the idea to start bringing some crackers, tidbits to school, and I started selling them at 40 cents each. So I'll go to school in the morning, my bag will be full with a max of around 22 packets, tidbit packets, those crackers, those chips, small packets, 22 packets in my bag. It would look huge, ballooned. And by the time recess came in, all my friends, all my classmates from this class and the next class would come running over to my chair. I'll be selling them, I'll be distributing all the crackers for them, And by the end of the day, I'll probably have like $7, $8. which actually is really a lot back then. That was in year 2000, I think. So $8 a day, that was crazy. And in comparison, I was getting zero allowance from my parents anyway, unless I stayed back in school for some after class activity, and I would get like $1 to spend. So yeah, basically those are little things that contributed, right? But whatever it is, at 17 I had the goal, okay, be a millionaire by the time I was 40. And later on as well, that also carved me my path. However I act, what I talked about, what I was interested in, it was all directed by that simple, unclear yet simple vision that I kind of had for myself, right? And I don't doubt that today, that was the beginning of where I am today as well. However, today I have newly realized, how super important it is not to just have a rough understanding of where I want to go, but have a really clear, crystal clear image of what outcome exactly that I want in my life. Not to say by the time I'm 40, but 20 years later, 15 years later, 10 years later, 5 years later, 1 year later, 3 months later, right? This month, this week, today. That's how you stack. That's how you align that vision from long term down all the way all the way down to the granular details of today, right? And for you, based on you have your own experiences, you have your own stories, you have your own scripts, you have your own living environments that you grew up in, you have your own stories, right? And this will no doubt shape the way you perceive, what you perceive as valuable and what you perceive as fun and joyful to you. It could be writing, it could be acting, it could be, soccer, it could be music, what have you, it could be painting, it could be art, you name it, right? But I know for a fact that whatever it is you naturally gravitate towards based on your own story growing up, whatever it is, I don't doubt that you have been swayed by society growing up, and now you're stuck somewhere else that is likely different from where exactly your heart truly resonates with. So that is the gap, that is the chasm that I urge you to really try and reconcile and bridge, right? In the smartest way possible, in the most efficient way possible, in a very effective way possible, and in a very financially sound way, right? You don't want to be dropping everything now and then you have no financials in place to really catch you, right? As you're moving towards your dream. But that is the core big reason of this podcast in the first place, which is bringing more people aligned and towards the dreams, the real visions they have for themselves based on their own story, what really feels the best for them, right? So this will, and so going back to the main question we have for this episode, which is what is the single most important thing I can do in my 20s? My answer for that is this: the single most important thing you can do is really, really, really dig deep and discover what exactly gives you the greatest happiness in your life. Okay, so ask yourself that question: what exactly gives you the greatest happiness in your life? And the problem will not be finding out what that is. Odds are high that you already know what that is. The problem will be in shutting off all the other noises that come through your head about what you think would make you happy based on what other people have told you and your living environment growing up. So that is a challenge for you, which is to break off all that noise telling you what you should feel happy about, when you yourself deep inside you already know what exactly you want to do that will bring you the greatest happiness right now, immediately, instantaneously. Okay, so some ways I've realized would help a lot is I want you to imagine, right? So be by yourself with maybe a piece of paper, your iPad in front of you, and really think about this. If there were no financial issues, just think about it. If I was not bogged down by any financial issues, if I was not bogged down by any form of responsibility at all, if I was the only person in the world, right? If nothing else mattered, if I had everything I ever wanted, what would be the one thing I could do that would give me greater happiness right now, immediately, right? Again, the challenge is not in really discovering what it is. The challenge is in blocking out all the other noise that really doesn't matter, but you've been habitually programmed to really think about in your head that you should really learn to shut off, right? And then at the end of it, if you do this exercise right, think about it, block off all the other noises, the static, block out the static, and after that you get the answer, right? What exactly, you would at least get a vague direction as to what will give you the greatest happiness. Like I said, it could be painting, writing, drawing, singing, what have you, creating music, giving back to children who are less privileged, what have you. Write it down. Once you have that now, I want you to just look at that statement, record it on your phone, type it into your WhatsApp, put it as your home screen, type it out, and every day, just continue the rest of your day. the rest of your days as per normal for now. So if you have a job, keep going to the job, but just allow yourself to keep getting exposed to that direction. Just let yourself get exposed to that direction every day, every single day, and inspiration will definitely hit you. I guarantee you that. Even if you're not, I'm not telling you to quit your job right now, but in some way or form, once you expose yourself to that statement of what you should be doing, that will really give you the greatest joy and happiness for yourself, you'll realize your mind is an automatic loop closer. What that means is that it cannot stand open loops. Do you want to know what that means? So it's an automatic loop closer. Okay. By the way, do you know that 10 years ago something terrible really happened to me that really morphed the rest of my life as we know it, because of this terrible accident? Yeah, back to the topic. Your mind is a loop closer. It cannot stand having open loops, right? If you didn't know, that was me trying to incite or place in you an open loop, right? So your mind probably thinking, what the hell experience and accident did this guy go through, right? 10 years ago. But yeah, that was just an example, or maybe I did have an accident, right? But anyway, that's an open loop, and your mind cannot stop thinking, right, about open loops. When it gets exposed to open loops, it wants to close all open loops. So you are leveraging on this condition of your mind, and you actually, whenever you expose yourself to these sentences, whenever you expose yourself to that sentence, that I actually writing will give me the greatest happiness in life. Right? You can add one last part. What can I do today to get closer to writing? When you give yourself that open loop every day and you expose yourself to it, your mind is forced to close that loop. So some way or some form, your mind will definitely do things, give you ideas, give you inspiration to move towards that direction. Right? Okay? So that's all you have to do. Write that down. Expose yourself to it. Purposely, you are fully empowered to use your mind and take advantage of your mind. Your mind is your tool for you to use. Your mind is a gift. So use it, expose yourself to the question, purposely open that loop in your mind so that your mind will give you the genius of an answer that it's capable of giving you, right? In answering a question. Then you can see, you'll be amazed, give it some time, you'll be amazed at what your mind will think of. Maybe you can do some writing at work, you can change job, you can change departments, you can do something on the side, create a side business, what have you. Your mind will give you the answer. Whatever question you ask, your mind will give you the answer. So I'll keep this short for today. My brother actually is waiting for me. He's been waiting, I think, for maybe an hour to watch this anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, with him. I've been watching with him every afternoon for like the past 2-3 weeks. So he's been waiting, so I don't want to keep him waiting. I hope you found this helpful and useful. This is Joan Tang again. I hope you do the exercise. It'll do tremendously for your life. Trust me on that. And with that, I'll see you on tomorrow's episode. Bye.